With the WNBA season ending for many teams, there are already so many players heading overseas to play during the off-season.
A'ja Wilson, the MVP of the WNBA, the greatest player in women's basketball that nobody cares about.
A'ja Wilson just dropped a bomb on social media. The WNBA MVP is fuming, and it's all because of Caitlin Clark. You won't believe what she said. Wilson's tweet is blowing up, and everyone's taking sides. But here's the crazy part. This fight might actually save the WNBA. Imagine this. Wilson, the league's top dog, feeling threatened by a rookie who hasn't even played a pro game yet. That's insane, right? But Clark's not just any rookie. She's breaking records before she even steps on a WNBA court. You know what's crazier? The real reason behind Wilson's outburst isn't what you think. Let's break it down. So, A'ja Wilson just lit up Twitter with a tweet that's got everyone talking. She didn't mention Caitlin Clark by name, but come on, we all know who she's talking about. Wilson wrote, "WTF, I am MVP," and the internet exploded. It's like she's screaming, "Hey, don't forget about me." But here's the thing. This isn't just about Wilson feeling salty. There's way more to this story. Let's rewind a bit. A'ja Wilson has been the face of the WNBA for years. She's got the stats to back it up too. We're talking two-time MVP, Olympic gold medalist, and WNBA champion. Wilson's been dominating the court, averaging 22.8 points and 9.5 rebounds per game last season. She's a monster on defense too, with 2.2 blocks per game. So why is she so fired up about a rookie who hasn't even played a pro game yet? That's where things get interesting. Wilson's tweet isn't just about Clark's success. It's hinting at some deeper issues in the league. Think about it. Wilson's been grinding for years, pushing the WNBA forward, fighting for better pay and recognition. And now this new kid comes in, and suddenly everyone's losing their minds. It's gotta sting, right? But here's where it gets wild.
Then when they leave the Caitlin flight, oh my God, what do we do now? You hate it when they're here. You don't like their presence. Oh my God, look at what they're doing.
What if Wilson's anger is actually good for the WNBA? Seriously, hear me out. This drama is getting people talking about women's basketball. When was the last time you saw this much buzz around the WNBA? Wilson's tweet is like throwing gasoline on a fire that Clark started. And you know what? That fire might just be what the league needs. Now, some people are saying Wilson's worried about losing her MVP status to a rookie, but that's not what this is really about. Wilson's frustration goes deeper than that. It's about respect, recognition, and the future of the league. She's worked her butt off to get where she is, and she wants to make sure that doesn't get forgotten in all the Caitlin Clark hype.
A'ja Wilson has had the most difficult season of her career. She couldn't get the credit she deserved. Have we not done enough to celebrate A'ja Wilson? Have you contributed to her life being 10 times as hard?
Wilson's not the only one shaking things up in women's basketball. There's a new offer on the table that's got everyone's jaws on the floor. And get this, it's not even from an American team. What could make a rookie turn down the bright lights of the WNBA?
Our biggest star in the league, Caitlin Clark, is only making a base salary of around $76,000. Caitlin's rookie salary is a little over $300,000 for 4 years, and that's all that she's going to make in the WNBA.
Let's talk about Caitlin Clark's game-changing move. European leagues have been eyeing top talent for years, but now they've set their sights on the biggest star in college basketball. And they're not messing around. The contract offer they've put on the table isn't just big, it's record-breaking. We're talking about a deal that could make Clark the highest-paid women's basketball player in the world. That's insane. So how much are we talking about here? While the exact numbers aren't public, sources say it's way more than what the WNBA can offer. In the WNBA, the maximum salary for a rookie is around $76,000, but in Europe, some top players are making over $1 million a season. That's like 13 times more.
Now, I feel like there could be a team overseas who would love to snatch Caitlin Clark away from us and give her a crazy offer. The money is there, and if these owners are smart with it, I could definitely see more WNBA players going overseas.
And that's not even counting endorsement deals and bonuses. You're probably wondering, how can European leagues afford to throw around that kind of cash? It's all about the money, honey. European teams have bigger budgets thanks to massive sponsorship deals and more financial backing. Plus, they don't have salary caps like the WNBA does, So when they see a star like Clark, they can open up their wallets and go all in.
But in the past, the only on record revenue that I could find of the WNBA is $60 million. What the WNBA has earned over the past years and the entirety of the WNBA, the numbers actually make sense. It's actually not that unfair.
Now, imagine you're Caitlin Clark. You've got the WNBA on one side, offering you fame and a chance to play in the world's top league. But on the other side, you've got Europe waving a fat paycheck and the chance to be a global superstar. What would you do? Here's where things get wild. If Clark takes that European offer, it could start a domino effect. Other top players might start looking overseas too. And then what happens to the WNBA? They could lose their biggest stars, their ticket sales, their TV ratings.
35 at home, 15,000 on the road. Attendance for the entire league up nearly 50% this year, according to data, the Indiana Fever. All right, with Caitlin Clark, led the league in attendance both home and on the road.
And I think we have to look at this two ways, and that it tanks in comparison to Caitlin Clark.
It's like a nightmare scenario for the league. But hold up, what if this drama is actually good for the WNBA? I know, it sounds crazy, but think about it. This whole situation is shining a spotlight on the pay gap in women's basketball. It's got people talking, it's got fans fired up, and it's putting pressure on the WNBA to step up their game. Sometimes you need a little chaos to spark real change, you know? Speaking of change, there's a hidden battle raging in the WNBA. It's not just about money, it's about control. And Caitlin Clark, she's become the face of a revolution. But here's the million-dollar question. Is the league ready for it? The WNBA has been moving at a snail's pace when it comes to change. It's like they're stuck in the past while the rest of the sports world is zooming into the future. Then along comes Caitlin Clark, this basketball phenom who's not afraid to shake things up. She's young, she's talented, and she's got some big ideas about how to make the league better. But not everyone's on board with Clark's vision. Some of the veteran players and league officials are looking at her like she's trying to flip the whole game upside down. They've been doing things their way for years, and suddenly this rookie comes in and starts making waves? You can bet that's ruffling some feathers. So what's Clark pushing for that's got everyone so worked up? For starters, she's all about getting chartered flights for the team. Right now, WNBA players are stuck flying commercial, which can be a nightmare for tall athletes. Imagine trying to squeeze into a tiny airplane seat after playing your heart out on the court. Clark's saying, hey, let's treat these players like the pros they are. And you know what? A lot of fans are nodding their heads in agreement. But that's not all. Clark's also vocal about better pay for WNBA players. She's looking at those European contracts and thinking, why can't we have that here? It's a fair question, right? These women are world-class athletes, but some of them have to work second jobs just to make ends meet. Clark's not afraid to point out that something's got to change.
WNBA players actually don't make that much money because we haven't been paying attention how Caitlin Clark actually was advocating for actually not even her own teammates, but for other teams' players.
Now, you'd think the league would be thrilled to have a star like Clark bringing in new fans and pushing for improvements. But their response? Let's just say it hasn't been all high fives and confetti. Some league officials are dragging their feet, acting like Clark's demands are impossible. It's like they're more worried about keeping things the way they've always been than growing the game. Here's where it gets really wild. Is the WNBA shooting itself in the foot by not fully backing Clark? Think about it. They've got this superstar who's bringing in record crowds, boosting TV ratings, and getting people excited about women's basketball. But instead of riding that wave, some in the league seem to be trying to hold her back. It's like they're afraid of their own success. Get this. Clark isn't just changing how the game is played, she's flipping the entire WNBA fan base on its head. But here's the million-dollar question. Is this sudden surge in popularity a slam dunk for the league, or could it backfire in a big way? Let's break it down. For years, the WNBA has been struggling to fill seats and get eyeballs on screens. It's been an uphill battle, with critics saying women's basketball just can't compete with the men's game. But then Caitlin Clark showed up, and boom! Everything changed. Suddenly, arenas are selling out left and right. TV ratings are going through the roof. It's like Clark waved a magic wand and made everyone fall in love with women's basketball overnight. You know what's wild? Some games are even outperforming NBA matchups in viewership. That's crazy. So, how much has viewership actually increased since Clark joined? We're talking about a massive spike. Some games featuring Clark have seen ratings jump by over 50% compared to last season. And it's not just on TV, social media engagement is off the charts. Clark's highlight reels are going viral, racking up millions of views. It's like she's sparked a whole new generation of WNBA fans. But why is Clark connecting with fans in a way other players haven't? It's not just about her skills on the court, though those are pretty insane. Clark's got this magnetic personality that just draws people in. She's relatable, she's fun to watch, and she's not afraid to speak her mind. Plus, she's bringing in a whole new demographic. Young fans who might not have given women's basketball a second glance before. Now, here's where things get tricky. What happens to all these new fans if Clark decides to take that fat European paycheck and bounce? Will they stick around and keep watching the WNBA? Or will they lose interest without their new favorite player? It's a huge risk for the league, and you can bet they're sweating bullets over it. And get this. Not everyone in the WNBA is thrilled about Clark's rise to fame. Some veteran players are feeling overshadowed, wondering why they didn't get this kind of attention during their careers. It's creating a bit of a divide in the league. You've got Team Clark on one side, excited about the future, and Team Wilson on the other, feeling like their hard work is being overlooked. All right, we've reached crunch time for the WNBA. Clark's potential Europe move isn't just about one superstar player. It's about the whole future of the league. The WNBA's got to make some big decisions, and fast. Are they going to stick to their old playbook, or are they ready to shake things up? But you know who's really winning in all this drama? Us fans. We're finally talking about women's basketball like never before. It's all over social media, people are debating at work, even your grandma's got an opinion on Caitlin Clark. So what's next? Ball's in the WNBA's court now. They can either embrace this change and ride the wave, or they might just watch their biggest stars bounce to Europe. It's do or die time for women's basketball in America. You ready for this?